description presentation. Alright, before that, I have one question. Have you ever read a product description online and felt that something just didn't sound right? Maybe the grammar was incorrect or the punctuation was missing, Today, we will be analyzing 2 product descriptions from Shopee, identifying the language errors, explaining why they are incorrect, and showing the corrected version. So, let's get started, shall we? Alright, before we begin, let us introduce ourselves. We are Group 5 and these are our team members. My name is Najah Mera binti Muhammad Asri, and here with me is Ahmad Lutfi Adham bin SA-KERIA, Muhammad Al-Fatih bin Ahmad Marzouk, and Nurin Irdina binti Nur Hisham. Alright, each of us is responsible for different parts of this presentation. Now let's move on to the platform we selected. Alright, we choose Shopee because it's one of the most popular online shopping platforms in Malaysia. Since many product descriptions are written directly by sellers, language mistakes are quite common, This makes Shopee a suitable platform for our proofreading and editing analysis. Alright, these are the 2 products we selected, the Hygge Tinted Lip Balm and a Body Scrub. We chose them because both contain different types of language errors, allowing us to identify and correct them. Now let's look at our product description 1. After analyzing the description, we found several language errors that affect its clarity and professionalism, and we will explain each error and the appropriate correction of it. Alright. For product description 1, we identified 5 types of error: capitalization, punctuation, spelling, subject-verb agreement, and transposition. Although these mistakes seem minor, they can reduce the credibility of the product description. Now let's begin with the capitalization errors. In the sentence, why Hygge Tinted Lip Balm and not other brand? There are 2 mistakes here actually. First, Hygge should be written in all capital letters because it's the official brand name. As a proper noun, it should follow the company's registered spelling, And second, the word not. The word not should be changed to lowercase because it's neither a proper noun nor the first word of the sentence. This correction makes the sentence more consistent and professional. Alright? Okay, let's move on to the punctuation errors. In both examples, the sentences are missing a full stop at the end. Since they are complete statements, each sentence should end with a period. Although this seems like a small mistake, proper punctuation improves readability and helps readers understand where a sentence ends. As a result, the product description becomes more clearer and more professional. I guess that's all for my part. I'll pass it to my friend. Bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I'm Dina and I'll be explaining the spelling, transposition and subject-verb agreement errors found in the product description. First, let's take a look at the spelling errors. The phrase "color cantik" was corrected to "beautiful color." We translated cantik to beautiful and changed color to color without the letter U to maintain consistent American English spelling. The second spelling error is lips lembab gila, which we corrected to very moisturized lips. Here, lembab means moisturized, while gila is a Malaysian slang used to mean very. Next is subject-verb agreement. The phrase brighten plus smoothen texture of lips was corrected to brightens and smoothens the texture of lips. Since the implied subject is the singular product, the verbs must also be singular by adding s. Another example is allergic reaction is rare, which we change to allergic reactions are rare. This is because the statement refers to reactions in general, so both the noun and the verb should be plural. And finally, for transposition errors, the phrase providing sun protection boosting was corrected to providing a sun protection booster because the word booster is the correct noun referring to an ingredient that enhances protection instead of the word boosting. The second example is packaging paper tube, which we change to paper tube packaging. This word order is grammatically correct because paper tube functions as a modifier describing the type of packaging. That is all. I will continue the presentation on to the next presenter.
Alright, so to continue our second product description, without further ado, we spot 3 type of errors out of from 20 errors in the product, which is sentence structure, punctuations, and capitalization error. Firstly, I will explain the punctuation errors. The first error is tip. The first error is tip with an exclamation mark, and then the correction is tip without the exclamation mark. An exclamation mark is usually used to show strong emotion or excitement. However, tip is only a heading, so the exclamation mark is unnecessary, and it is a wrong use of an exclamation mark, the purpose of exclamation mark. And the second error is use one space hyphen space 3 times a week. The correction is use 1-3 times a week. There should be no spaces between hyphen before or after the hyphen because it is used to show a range of number. This means the product should be used between 1 and 3 times a week. Next, I will explain the sentence structure errors. The first error is 11 million units sold homemade style facial mask. The correction is homemade style facial mask with 11 million units sold. The original phrase is confusing because the words are not arranged clearly. In the corrected version, the product name comes first, followed by the sales information. And the second error is avoid the I and lip area. The correction is avoid the eye and lip areas. Original phrase, this sentence refers to 2 areas, which is eye and lip. Therefore, the plural word areas should be used. Therefore, the area should be a plural, which is therefore. Overall, these corrections make the product description clearer and easier for the customer to understand. And next, I will let our last presenter to present his part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to fellow audience. My name is Muhammad Al-Fatih and I will be the last presenter for our group. And I will also be talking about the capitalization errors within product description 2 and the similarities and differences of both product description. Alright, let's start with capitalization errors. Error, rinse off. Corrected version, rinse off without the capitalized R. The justification for this it is because only words that is not noun or the first word of the sentence can be capitalized. Rinse is incorrectly capitalized because it appears in the middle of a sentence, not at the beginning. And sentence case, words within a sentence should not be capitalized unless they are proper noun or part of a title. Now for the second error, smooth and soften rough skin. The corrected version, smooth and soften rough skin. Again, without the capitalized R on the rough. The justification for this is because only the first word and proper noun should be capitalized. So it should be written as smooth and soften rough skin without the capitalized R on the rough. Hence, making the capitalization inconsistent with normal sentence combinations. Next, I'll be talking about the similarities and differences. Both product description share several similarities. Firstly, both are written to promote the product by highlighting its features and benefits to attract customers. Secondly, both contain language errors, especially in capitalization and punctuation, which affect the clarity and professionalism of the description. Lastly, both require proofreading and editing to improve grammar, readability, and overall writing quality before they are published. Although both product description have language errors, the types of errors are different. Product description 1 contains more error types, including capitalization, punctuation, spelling, subject-verb agreement, and transposition errors. In contrast, product description 2 mainly contains capitalization, punctuation, and sentence structure errors. In addition to that, product description 1 uses a mixture of English and Malay, which creates a language consistency issues, while product description 2 is written entirely in English and is generally more formal. Right, that's all from us. I hope you understand our presentation, and thank you. See you next time. Bye.